Simon's there, and Simon stands up, but there was also like a bowl of mints on the table. And so he stands up and he goes over, and I'm like, he's just getting a mint. And then he's like, boosh, and this gold stuff comes down, and I'm like, what's going on? And like I could feel all of my face was tingling. I was like, it just felt like a dream. I looked back at my sister, and then in that moment, that's all I wanted was hair, just to have that little embrace and to feel like real again. Do you know what I mean?
This Valentine's Day, we are so excited to be able to have a date with Calum Scott. Okay, we're gonna continue. Are we ready to keep going? Okay, Nick is next.
Hi, Calum.
Hey, Nick.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So, of all the places you've gone to and performed, are there any particular ones you would go back for, like a regular vacation?
I mean, apart from Singapore.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you know what? The world is a wonderful place. There are so many places I've been to that I just absolutely love. I think some standouts from last year, obviously apart from Singapore, is South Africa. I loved Cape Town. I thought it was such a great place, great people, great food. Just come from Thailand. I really fell in love with Thailand as well. Such an amazing, like the landscape, the food. I mean, it's all centered around food. I'm not gonna lie.
It's Asia. So.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm like, yeah, Thai green curry at 9 a.m. Okay, let's go. Where else do I love? Do you know what? What's so funny? I was talking to my friend about this the other day. Sometimes I don't want to like big up my own hometown, but Yorkshire, in summer, when you see the rolling hills, some of the most beautiful places in the world, I feel like it's like Lord of the Rings territory. You know what I'm talking about? It's like picturesque, beautiful, great tea. But yeah, Asia for me has always been an amazing place because it's before I got into this career, it's a place it's a continent I'd never really traveled to before.
It's far.
And it is far. I'm not gonna lie, the jet lag does hurt.
First week.
Yeah. First couple of days. But I think what I will say is the food and the people in Asia are just second to none. When you look around the world, the hospitality and the attention to detail. I'm going into hotels, and the hotel I'm staying at the minute, they've made a chocolate piano for me.
Oh.
Like, I'm just like, is all of that edible? She's like, yeah. I'm like, it's too beautiful to eat. I want to take it home and put it on my mantle, you know?
Well, it would melt.
Yeah,
Maybe not in Yorkshire.
Yeah, not in Yorkshire. Not in Yorkshire. No, the weather's too like iffy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Asia for me, especially on a fan level, has become a second home. So anywhere in Asia, really.
We're happy to have you back anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. But Singapore.
Yes. Good answer. All right, we've got Alfredo next.
Hi, Calum.
Hey, Alfredo.
So my question is, how did you feel when you got your golden buzzer, and do you think you'll ever find that feeling again?
Oh my God. I mean, it's hard to put into words really how I feel about it. I've tried to write about it, and it's impossible for me to be able to explain how I felt in that moment, because there was a lot of good things going through my head. Like I said earlier, you know, there was my sister that didn't get through. So immediately Big Brother comes in, and it's like, I have to be protective of her. I have to make sure she's fine, you know, and kind of hating the guy that made her cry.
Yeah.
But then also in the very same moment, I'm having to impress that guy. I'm having to go out there and showcase what I can do to not only the people in the room, but the rest of the world. And I think that kind of feeling as I went on stage was really difficult. I mean, I don't want to complain about it like, oh, boo-hoo, but it was difficult because I walked out there being like, I hate you and respect you.
And I want to impress you, but how dare you?
I want to impress you, yeah, but oh my God. And also the nerves was palpable. Like, I remember when I spoke to Alicia and she said, your name's Calum, and I was like, yeah. And she said, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And I was not.
Yeah.
There's a moment halfway through the audition where I say, like, where I put my hands up and I'm vividly shaking. I mean, the show doesn't show the entire song, but the first verse and chorus, I was so shaky and so nervous. And then it came to the second verse, and I could just see that people's eyes had started to be transfixed. And I knew already that the song was amazing because it's a Robin song, and I love Robin. And I think everybody loves that song. And I think when I reduced it to just piano and vocal, it really showcased what the song's about, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I think when I sang it, I think it was probably the first time that people had heard it in that way. And I could just sense the magic. I could sense the silence was just deafening, you know. And I gave it everything. And when I had finished performing, the relief just, it was like it was euphoric. And so I'm just like, thank God that's over, right? And then Simon's there, and Simon stands up, but there was also like a bowl of mints on the table. And so he stands up and he goes over, and I'm like, he's just getting a mint. And then he's like, boosh, and this gold stuff comes down, and I'm like, what's going on? And like, I could feel all of my face was tingling. I was like, it just felt like a dream. I looked back at my sister, and then in that moment, that's all I wanted was her, just to have that little embrace and to feel like real again. Do you know what I mean? So as you can imagine, trying to wrap that up into a song or a feeling or to explain that is just so difficult. And I'm not sure if I'll ever get that again, because it was just the perfect storm. But then I will say that every performance I do, the euphoria takes me straight back. So there's probably like little moments of that audition that are in every performance I do, but it's Harry Potter style magic, you know.
Yeah.
Not that one. But all the others.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I love that question. I love that answer too.
Yeah.
Shamemi.
Hey,
Hi, Calum.
Hey, Shamemi. How are you?
I'm good. I think everyone can agree that Valentine's Day just got a whole lot sweeter now that you're here.
Stop it.
So my question to you is, if you could be a part of any songwriting team for any song in the world, for any artist, past or present, what song would that be and why?
Oh my God.
He's gonna need a minute, I think.
Yeah. I'm just gonna need to sleep on that. It's such a good question, because you look at, and you said past or present. Yeah, really opening it up for me. I mean, the amount of people that I would have loved to have written with or worked with. I mean, Whitney Houston, George Michael, people who are currently with us. I mean, I think it would be so fun to do a song for Justin Bieber. And open that back, like open the ballad space up for him again. I think, oh my God, it's a really great question. I think Whitney. I think I would have to lend on Whitney, because I listened to it the other day. I will always love you, and you just go. I cannot process how good that vocal is. You listen to the vocal. There's like versions of the song online without the music, and you just listen to her vocal, and you're like, I don't know if I can actually process it.
Yeah.
And then when you know that song was written by Dolly Parton, you go, what? And so I think for me that it was knowing things like that, where you just go, like, you would have never have put that duo together. And I think that it would be so cool for if I could work with her team or her or however that came around, to write something maybe like that song again, you know, or whatever. I mean, it might be the most depressing song you've ever heard,
but like probably most moving too.
Maybe
Dolly Parton and Whitney Houston and Callum Scott.
Right? I mean,
come
just
on.
Tears for days. I mean,
for
the saddest
years.
Valentine's Day you've ever seen. But yeah, or just something fun, like something like completely out of the box for me, like Blackpink.
Ooh.
I think that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
I think that'd be sick. And I was talking to my manager. He's looking into that kind of space for me. So TBC. Who knows?
Okay. All right. The feature is underway. Alicia's next.
Hi, Calum.
Hey, Alicia.
Firstly, I just want to say thank you for spending your Valentine's Day with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the question I wanted to ask you was, if your life right now was like a TV show or a movie, what would its name be and what would be the soundtrack?
Oh my God.
Right.
Jesus. These are like some of the best questions I've ever been asked. What would it be called?
It was a competition.
You definitely would. I mean, jeez. What would I call it? I'd call it... This is where I need my team of people like around the desk, like brainstorming.
You're going to change your answer and put it in your Insta stories later.
100%. What would I call it? I know that it'd definitely be chaotic. It would be absolute chaos. I'd like to think it would be a little bit like, not like Friends, because they're genuinely funny, I'm not. But something like that, where it's a little bit funny, a little bit moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Emotional.
And full of like friends. Oh my God, why am I being so soppy today?
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You're on a date with 20 people.
I'm on a date with 20 people. It's going to be an expensive bill.
Kiss has got it. We've got it. Yeah. Don't worry about
Kiss,
it.
Thank you. What would I call it? Calum Mania?
Callum and Friends.
Calum and Friends. I mean, you can tell that I'm a songwriter, obviously. Give me a day. I'll have the whole pilot episode. I'll have the characters. How
is your life not a reality show?
I know, right? I know. To be honest, it's one of those things where I feel like it would be cool to do because you would get a glimpse of behind the curtain of what it actually is like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when people start to see, I mean, people see it now with like TikTok and stuff. You get to see what's behind the actual. So I think it would be cool to show people that side of it. Like I'm working with my digital team now in showing more of my personality. Some of it good, some of it embarrassing. But it's cool to showcase what I'm about behind the scenes. And this is why this is really cool, because I'm getting to share stories and things that maybe I wouldn't have necessarily on a normal interview. So yeah, it'd be good to have a little TV show that
Calum
could showcase
Scott
that.
show.
Yeah. Maybe if Kiss invests in my idea, we can showcase it in
I think
Singapore.
the boss is somewhere.
The boss is just like,
No,
we don't need that.
We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
What about the soundtrack?
Ooh,
Ballads.
The soundtrack.
Ballads.
Oh my God, yeah, just
Strings.
ballads day after day. People are just watching it like,
Yeah.
oh I don't have any tears left. Dehydrated.
I just see the scene of you just playing a massive chocolate piano. I don't know why.
Just
But what a
melting.
sight.
Fingers just sticking to the keys.
It's very sweet though.
Very sweet. Very sweet.
Aisha is next.
Hi, good day, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I just want to say that right now I relate to you 100%. So I'm really like looking at a mirror or something. I don't know if it's a Libra thing or what. Okay, so my name has the word happiness in it for the meaning.
All right.
But I struggle to find the definition of happiness till today.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know what's your definition of happiness.
A very good question. And what I will say is, on a serious note, is everybody, I think, well, everybody goes through that. Everybody is struggles in some way or form and forgets, to turn to happiness. I think sometimes we self-sabotage. We find ourselves in those spirals of just negativity, and you forget to look at the light in life, right? It's beautiful that your name has happiness in it. Well, I mean, there you go. You've just got to write down your name and have a look at it. I think it's a beautiful reminder. What a gorgeous name. I think it's a reminder to us all to remember that our happiness, remember what makes us happy. I think, myself included, and I know a lot of artists are the same. We all struggle. We all find things that are difficult to deal with. And I think it's just about finding what works for you and what brings light and happiness into your life. Like I say, I think for me, family and friends are amazing. Doing something I love. I mean, I'm so lucky that I have a job that I do that makes me happy. And I think, in those times where I am a little bit down, I try and occupy my mind with something positive, something creative, whether that's sketching something. I have my iPad where I sometimes even just colour in. As immature as that sounds, sometimes it's just zen, you know.
It's scientifically proven to calm you down.
Yeah. And I think it's a good way of just occupying your mind. Reading, listening to podcasts, watching TV.
Listening to Kiss92.
Listening to Kiss92. I mean, if there was ever an antidote for depression, it's Kiss92. But yeah, just occupying your mind. I think that's the most important thing, because I find that when you start to concentrate on negativity, which is inevitable, you know, sometimes your day doesn't go quite right and you wake up and it's cloudy outside, it's cloudy, and then you're late for work and you're like, oh my God, I'm late for work. And then it's just, you feel that your day just gets worse and worse. I think you've got to, in those moments, you've got to remember the light, remember the happiness, remember that there are people that love you, remember that you love yourself. Self-love, very underrated. Even just like the simplest things of just getting a bath, you know, like
in wine.
Turning
on some Calum Scott.
Exactly. Putting on some candles and getting a face mask and just allowing yourself to just decompress, treat yourself. You know, if you feel like having a big old cake, pandan, then just treat yourself. I think, you know, sometimes we can be unnecessarily hard on ourselves, and I think we should treat ourselves a little bit more, and we should love ourselves a little bit more. So you've got the perfect name. You just have to remember yourself, remember to be happy, remember to shine that light on yourself, and just know that you're not alone, I think, at least. I love that. That was a very deep.
That was a beautiful answer.
Yeah, from pre-stage poo to you've really helped happiness. Me. Yeah. You've really helped me add depth to my Valentines. Thank you.
Isaac is next.
Hi, Calum.
Hi, Isaac.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
Yeah. My question is, do you have any advice on how to start a singing career, or any related life advice that you have over this your singing career?
Oh, thank you for your question. Yes, I do. If you have a dream or you have an ambition, I implore you to chase it, because I ended up in my day job from not quite knowing what I wanted to do when I left school. I kind of wanted to be like in mental health therapy or physiotherapy, like I said before, but university, I don't know about here in Singapore, but it's very expensive. And you commit a lot of years to the study, and you've got to be sure that that's what you want to do. You know, you don't want to walk away from 6 years with you graduate, you don't like what you've learned, and you're in debt. That's like, for me, the worst case scenario. Yeah. And so I just figured, like, before I knew what I wanted to do, you kind of find yourself floating around. But I always loved to sing. I loved music. I was a drummer when I was at school. I loved all forms of music. You know, all the way from like jazz to heavy metal.
Please tell me you were the singer of Maroon 4, though.
Oh, yeah, I was Adam Levine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was Adam Levine. No doubt about it.
Would be a waste on the drum.
I was a drummer in Maroon 4. Yeah, and I have no tattoos because I'm a little bit of a wuss. I know you're very brave for getting tattoos, but I was a wuss, so I had to wear the stockings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm very cool.
I want to see. I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's somewhere on the internet, but I'm not going to give you the link. Yeah, so I feel like, but when I found, you know, my singing voice and I started to chase it, even though there were, you know, barriers along the way, like there is in any vocation or any career, I just kept on knocking on those doors, and I was relentless. You know, after the show finished, I went back to my hometown without a career, without a deal, without a record deal, without anything. And so I just kind of kept on knocking on those doors, and it was my passion that kind of got me through it. And I feel like where I am today is because I love doing what I do. So, and what I will say is dreams genuinely do come true. Like, I know that sounds a bit gushy, but they do come true. And I feel like if there's something that you dream about, whether it be in the arts, whether it be in a specific vocation, please go and chase it, because you don't want to look back and go, I wish I'd have done that, because regret is an awful feeling. And I think we've all done that. We've all missed an opportunity or missed out on an experience, or your friends all say, do you want to come to this place? And you just go, no. And then they all have the best time and you're just like, why?
I mean, the FOMO is real.
Yeah, FOMO is heavy. So I just feel like if you've got a dream, please chase it. And that's not to say that your dream will always pan out the way that you think it will. I know mine didn't. But then it pans out in a slightly different way. And you know, I never, ever, ever thought that I'd be in the position I was today. I thought I'd just be singing in clubs and pubs and, you know, doing that kind of thing. So to be where I'm at now is far beyond what I dreamt of, but it's because I dreamed of it that it came true, I think.
Love that manifestation.
Just keep dreaming, yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, Malcolm.
Hey, Malcolm.
Hi. So what is one thing that you have always wanted to do on Valentine's Day, but you have not had the chance to do it yet?
What have I always wanted on Valentine's Day and never had the chance to? A partner would be nice. Actually finding love would be very, very nice.
I'm sure you're not short of suitors.
Well, you know what? I think it's one of those things where I think for me, it's such a mad career, and it's so like limiting. Like you're away all the time, you're constantly on the road, you're traveling. When you're home for fleeting moments, and then you're away again. You're communicate. I mean, over here is +8 GMT. So I'm 8 hours ahead of the UK.
Yeah.
So like I FaceTimed my mum and my nephew last night. It's midnight for me. It's the afternoon for them.
Yeah.
So like staying in touch even with the people that are the closest to me is difficult
Already
enough,
hard.
let alone somebody brand new that you want to spark a relationship with, you know? So it's hard. It's hard. And when I have been on dates before, it's when I've got free time and then that free time gets snapped right up. And then, you know, Ed Sheeran's kept me busy for 6 months of this year. So, I mean, maybe he'll have to be my date. I know you're married, but
I mean,
can we be a throuple?
yeah, right? I mean, I don't think anyone would mind that.
I mean,
Maybe besides Ed.
Ed might mind, and his wife. Yeah, but apart from that, but yeah, it would be nice to find love. And I think until then, I'm just going to write heartbreaking ballads. So maybe not. Maybe I should just continue to be heartbroken.
No.
Well, then at least we're going to get albums.
Let's manifest some love. We can write love ballads.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Imagine
what
the
do you
day that I
mean?
do get into it. Imagine the album that's going to come off of that.
Wow.
It's just
It'll
going to
be everyone's wedding song. I guarantee it.
It's just going to be sickly sweet.
Yeah. Can we have the
Because
Calum
I'm
Scott
happy.
song?
It's just all that. It's all that.
You could write happy ballads, I'm sure. I
don't know if
And we
anybody
look
wants
forward. I do. Okay, we're almost at the end. We've got Cheyenne.
Hi, Calum.
Hey, Shan.
Thank you for spending Valentine's Day with us and for sharing your music with all of us.
You're
we really
welcome.
appreciate you and we love you. We just talked about finding a partner, so this question is very interesting.
Okay.
You recently released your new song, Lighthouse, right?
Yes.
So
Great
how-
plug, by the way.
it's-
Thank you so much.
Of course. Gotta plug the new
The new
music.
single. You can hear it here on Kiss FM.
But I wanted to ask, how do you know if that someone is your lighthouse?
Chills.
I think
Chills. I love this. I feel like, I mean, not to bring it back to family and friends, because my God, I'm just going to be
why
vomiting.
not?
there.
It's okay.
But you know what I mean.
We're
Sickly sweet.
Asian. That's literally our life.
Well, and to be fair, it's full of Calum Scott fans, so I feel like I'm in good company.
Yeah.
To be soppy. But I think for me, when I was writing it, it was definitely about home, it was about family, it was about the people on the horizon, that little light that just comes around every now and again, just remind you of home, remind you of what's important. And I feel like even just the FaceTimes or the calls can be the lighthouse. But I feel like lighthouse can be interpreted in so many different ways, and I feel like Valentine's Day is an important day, especially if you are in love. But if you're not, it can suck. So I feel like Valentine's...
I'm not a Valentine's Day person.
Right, so...
Now I am, though.
Well, now that we've had a 21 thruple date. I mean, what is the...
You know, I'm going to take what I can get. So.
But I feel like on the topic of that, self-love is so important. And I feel like for Valentine's Day, people who don't have a date, it's about bringing love inward. And I feel like Lighthouse could be, you know, interpreted as a song that kind of reinforces love back to yourself. You know, be your own beacon, be your own light in the horizon. Because I feel like the good thing about that is what happens with self-love. You love yourself, and you, not in an arrogant way, not like I am the best, but as in like.
But also okay.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Until people start calling you a diva, and then you got to tone it down. But I feel like the good thing about self-love is that when you love yourself and you appreciate yourself and you can give yourself that respect, that radiates outwards, and people see that, and people notice you more, and people go, ooh, because there's just it's the law of attraction, right? I think when you are able to be confident, other people see that, and that's attractive to other people, right? So I feel like maybe self-love this year and a date next. Who knows? But I feel like, yeah, if you haven't got your lighthouse, you got to be your own lighthouse.
I love that.
I think in a poetic kind of way.
I love that. And with that, we're done. You did all the questions.
Hey.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you all for
Thank you.
being here, and thank you, Calum, again so much.
It's an
for
absolute
being
pleasure.
here.
Thank you so much for your questions, because they had me thinking. Like, I am sweating from the amount of my brain is overdrive right now. But thank you so much for your questions, and thank you for being such amazing fans, because to come here and to have a Valentine's Day with all you guys, knowing how much you love the music, how much I love you, it is a real relationship I have with you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you to Kiss92.
Thank you
for having us.
Kiss92.
But yeah, it's just a pleasure to be back. So shit.
Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place.